Big 12 football, tougher than a long weekend at your in-laws. This is the squad show that has a really long intro, and Duke Stadium is in it.
You're talking ball with the Big 12 squad. From Oklahoma State to Utah, from Kansas State to BYU, from Houston to Texas Tech, it's the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you scoops, breakdowns, and the most comprehensive preview of the upcoming Big 12 weekend. Buckle up. It's the Big 12 squad, and we have a seat for you. No hurt feelings and thin skin allowed. Squad up. You're part of the Big 12 squad.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into the Big 12 squad. That's Cody Stovall. He does Oklahoma State stuff. Jake Hatch of Locked On BYU Cougars. Richie Bradshaw of Locked On Sun Devils. Mountaineer Paul of Locked On West Virginia. JT Westerso of Locked On Utes is wearing a Christmas hat already. It is November. You are getting cold. Thank you for making our shows your first listen every single day. Every week in the Big 12 squad, we'll run down the entire Big 12. Something about grab a drink or two or six. All of us already have, except for Hatch. He covers BYU. And let's get into it. Speaking of BYU, I went to Baylor. Jake, and we got one hell per semester. It was the closest we get to swearing. So I'm going to utilize mine here. What the hell was that?
Well, BYU's offense decided it couldn't score anymore. That's the biggest thing about this. They made 5 trips.
Who's the offensive coordinator?
His name would be Aaron Roderick.
Still, no kidding, huh?
Yeah. So, they made 4 trips inside the red zone and came with a grand total of 6 points. So, yeah, that should pretty much sum it up as to what exactly happened Saturday night against Kansas.
Yeah, Jake, were you more frustrated when they threw short of the 6 on 4th down, or the 3rd down running the option and play instead?
Running the option on 3rd down, running to the boundary side with those numbers there. Because here's the thing: you had
try and turn the corner.
You had a false start on that 4th and 6 that pushed you to 4th and 11. When you have 4th and 11 in that circumstance, it's all she wrote essentially at that point. But yeah, running the speed option to the boundary side. BYU's had success with it this year, but if you rewatch the game film, the numbers said do not run to that side of the field. Aaron Roderick said as much earlier this week as well.
Yeah, I think my problem right now, Jake, is that if I'm anybody in the Big 12 at the top of the Big 12, the hottest teams in the Big 12, and this would feature a Kansas who's playing really good football right now. I wonder why you're scared of BYU. The last 3 out of 4 games have just looked kind of porous, and I get that BYU is still – they have the best record of anybody in the conference, but is there any confidence that you can – crazy we're asking this – that you can beat Richie's Arizona State team this week, who's wound up in the top 20 now?
Well, here's the thing. Arizona State goes as Cam Scadaboo goes, and just ask Kansas how running against BYU was last week. They held their 73 rushing yards with Devin Neal and Daniel Highshaw Jr. So if BYU can shut down Scadaboo this week, that'll give them a fighting chance. But you're right. They shouldn't be afraid because BYU's offense all of a sudden has proven to be pretty punchless with 3 offensive touchdowns in their past 26 possessions.
Yeah, speaking of punchless, the entire Oklahoma State football team. Cody, who got fired this week?
Nobody, but Mike Gundy had a press conference, and ironically enough, shout out to you, Jake. He told the refs before BYU to wake him up and act like I care. That is the soundbite of the week from Mike Gundy. And you know what? It's good for content. I don't know that it's good for Oklahoma State or morale or the locker room or recruiting, but it's good for content.
Yeah, and we work in the content sphere. Cody, why has no one been fired yet?
I mean, Gundy has a propensity to hang on to his buddies, right? That's why we've got guys that have been there for 12 years.
Hey, BYU and Oklahoma State, they're friends. Let's go.
Well, same with Utah. I mean, I think Utah was the only team in the country that has more tenured coaches that have been there longer than a decade, so on and so forth. So Oklahoma State and Utah, and to some degree BYU even, I don't know.
West Virginia.
It is perplexing to say the least, but I've lost hope. I've lost hope, except for we get Wreckham Tech this week, which means Alan Bowman's going to play inspired, buddy.
Yeah, he is. And if you win, at least you get to win. Not
right.
much left
the
to play
Dusty
for.
The Alan Bowman Bowl victory. That's right.
Did you say Brandon Whedon? Was that Brandon
age.
Whedon or Alan Bowman?
Same age.
Same age. That's all I wanted.
The idea that Richie Bradshaw's team is here in not 21, I misspoke, is crazy, but they're very good and have a legitimate shot to beat BYU. They're the favorites this week. We're going to get to him in a second. Mountaineer Paul, I heard that your head coach is going to UMass. Neil Brown, the next head coach of the UMass Minutemen. Is there anything to that?
There actually is. It would take.
Why?
It would take. Well, here's the thing.
Thank
Only
you.
West Virginia would have 2 coaches in a row move down, right? Dana Holgerson leaves West Virginia for Houston, and possibly Neil Brown leaves West Virginia for UMass. Public pressure is mounting on Neil Brown. 6 years, no top 25 in any of the 6 years. Never beat a team that's finished in the top 25. 3-18 versus the top 25. I could go on and on about how horrible he's been. And the buyout is the reason we're told that he may still stick around. And although I can't root for it, a loss against UCF this week would probably put the nail in the coffin. And most people think amicably. What people would like to see is maybe he resigns and goes to his alma mater, which is UMass. He and his wife have donated a football facility there. He played there, so he's close to that program. They hired Frank Martin, made a big splash in basketball a couple years ago, so they've shown the propensity to go out and do this kind of stuff. Could they afford the entire buyout? I don't know, but I do think they could reach some kind of an agreement. And I do have a source there at UMass that's told me that there's legs to it from the UMass side. Now, West Virginia controls the narrative because if they do nothing, then nothing happens.
I would hope that if they control the narrative, they would want to somehow make a very amicable agreement to get Neil Brown.
Yeah, please show us you care about football. Please.
Right. And this is something I talked about on the show this week with Locked On Big 12 is West Virginia is a proud damn state. Like this is, we got one damn per semester as well, Jake. I'm going to use it right now. It is a state that wants to win a football game. It's a blue collar place. I grew up in Valonia, Arkansas. We rooted for football. There was one thing we had, and it was football on the weekends. West Virginia is supposed to have that. Neil Brown hasn't given you that. JT Westersill, you know what? Let's go to you in the Santa hat before we go to Richie Bradshaw in the middle segment. Open things up. Who's been so well?
I thought Chris would be on. He was all anti-Christmas in November, and then Chris doesn't even come on for it.
Chris said he's going to be here in like 10 minutes. I don't even know what that means.
See, I'm obviously part of Utah. Everything Utah is set out to accomplish before they go out and execute it just doesn't come to fruition this year, I guess.
Yeah, you could still go to a bowl game. How fun is that? It's bowl hope is alive. Will you even come close to sniffing the jockstrap of Iowa State this week? Maybe.
I think we can. I think we could potentially do it. One thing that gives you a little bit of hope is look, Utah sucks at throwing the ball right now, right?
Who gives you hope?
No, a little bit. I have a little bit of hope. Just a little sliver. Just a little sliver. Little itty bitty sliver of hope. If you look at this Iowa State team, the one thing that actually leaves me really encouraged is the disparity of their run and pass defense is outlandish. I mean, have you guys seen they're one of the best teams at defending the pass, and their run defense ranks outside the top 100 in yards allowed per game. That's wild that this Iowa State team has that big of a disparity. So I'm feeling at least okay. Like, yes, they'll probably pack the box, but Utah just wants to run the ball anyways. So that gives me a little bit of hope there. The Rice-Eccles Stadium crowd. Jake, I'm trying to talk myself into some hope. I do not appreciate the looks that you are giving me, sir. You just lost as well. I will remind you as well, sir. Don't take away my hope and my Christmas hat.
Jalen Glover, your backup running back, already left said program.
It was Mike Mitchell was more the backup this year. Jalen Glover wasn't getting on the field.
There it is. What I want to know, JT, before we get to that middle segment, is I'm looking right now at teams that have run the football more often than they've thrown, at teams that they're running at the frequency at which they run the ball. Utah is 92nd in the country. They run the ball 49% of the time. Why, when you have 0 Division I Power 5 ready quarterbacks, Power 4 ready quarterbacks on roster right now, would that number be where it is?
I think as of lately, it's due to the struggles of the offensive line. I mean, Utah's coming off their worst performance on the ground against Colorado, and give the Buffs a ton of credit. They did a great job winning one-on-one up front. There was no rushing lanes to go to, and Utah was consistently in third and long. I think it's unfortunately that Utah has just struggled to run the ball as of late. That's why you're hoping that the Iowa State matchup is at least a little more favorable for Utah, because what they've been doing a lot of is trying to get some quick wide receiver screens to generate something, and those so many times rarely even hit. So it's tough for this Utah offense. It really is. What's weird is I actually thought Isaac Wilson had some of his best moments as a Utah quarterback last game, but then he has a miss in the middle of the field, and it was one of those missed throws where there was no one else in the picture and makes you pull your hair out. And then he had the awful interception drifting to the sideline. So this season has obviously gone awful for Utah. But look, it's senior night in Rice-Eccles Stadium. Could be Kyle Whittingham's final home game ever as Utah's coach. So I'm praying for a Christmas miracle this early in the season.
Coming up, let's talk to the Arizona State expert about how the Sun Devils are going to win the Big 12. It makes no sense. Today's show is brought to you by Skylight Frames. Skylight Frames is exactly what you need when you're missing someone this holiday season or you have a loved one that lives far away. If that is the case for you, we've got the perfect gift. Skylight Frame is the touchscreen digital photo frame for your whole family, and they'll love it. Upload thousands of photos with your phone. Watch them appear in seconds. Easy to use. Setup takes less than 60 seconds. Seamless sharing. Invite friends and family to share on the Skylight mobile app and add those new photos straight from your phone to anywhere across the country. It's the fastest, easiest way to keep loved ones in the loop. They'll feel so much more connected to you. And right now, as a special limited time offer, our listeners get $20 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/college. SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/college. Get $20 off your purchase now at skylightframe.com/college. That is Skylight Frame. It's the perfect gift this holiday season. Visit them today. Today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. Tackle college football. Tackle the NFL. This week, tackle Colorado, covering a 3.5-point spread on the road against Kansas with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. You bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL or college football all in one place. View live play-by-play. Check out stats. See the trends of the game in the middle of the game on the FanDuel app, and then make a play. Visit FanDuel.com to join today. Get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. FanDuel is your place to go to win money alongside me every day. And it's the Arizona State expert, Spencer McLaughlin.
I was wondering who was
There he is. Hey, that's that guy.
That's that guy.
I will settle for second, though. We can be like a running back tandem. You know, like 1A, 1B, play the hot hand. I will accept that.
Spencer, we'll lead off with Richie. You guys tag team. Richie, Arizona State's going to win the Big 12. Is that a true statement?
It is a statement that we are making in November of 2020.
Well, it's one of the statements of all time, no doubt.
It is.
For sure.
But they've got a chance, and I know that the tiebreakers are super duper weird. Like Iowa State has a chance if a few things happen, but I think ASU's path is a little more clear than the Cyclones is, and part of that is taking down BYU when it's senior day, when it's homecoming. There's a lot of stuff that's going on this weekend. The game is already sold out, which a big part of that's going to be BYU as well, because there's a big Mormon population in the valley.
Hey, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yes.
Richie, I think you should pronounce your P's and B's a little bit better, because, boy, I heard it's a pig Mormon population when you said that, and I don't think that's what you were going for.
Get him off.
Whoa.
No.
Flag on the play.
I'm saying that's not what you said, but that's what I heard, and I don't think I'm going to be the only one.
Very clear. Spencer, what you're the guy that talks about college football sometimes.
Gosh, tell me you don't want to talk to me without telling me you don't want to talk to me, Drake.
What do you think about the Big 12?
What do I think about the Big 12? It's every bit as fun as I hoped it would be before the season. I thought it'd be the most interesting conference title race. The SEC's maybe overtaken them, but like this was the one I was watching before the year because I went into it believing I think there are about 7 teams that can win the conference championship, and I didn't even list Arizona State in that.
None of those 7 are in the conversation right now, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
And none of I was talking with Max Chadwick of Pro Football Focus the other day, and he was like, "Hey, nice job telling me I was wrong on Arizona making the Big 12 title game." I'm like, "Yeah, I can jump around in circles in a celebratory fashion because of who I picked in the Big 12 championship game. Utah out here with a Christmas hat."
We don't have to mention it. We don't.
I hope you put coal in that stocking for what you have done this year. I mean, my goodness, it's just been an abomination.
Wait,
and then there's
Spencer,
Kansas, who is
Utah
good but
right?
bad. They're
Utah
just
against who? Who was the other team you had?
Kansas.
The two
Who, by
hottest-
the way, as Jake Hatch of Locked On BYU can attest, is a good football team with a bad record.
They are
the two hottest teams in the league right now are 4 and 6, aren't they? Baylor and Kansas.
Yeah. Point.
No, Kansas is 6, or Baylor is 6-4, aren't they?
Somehow it's a miracle.
Well,
They
Colorado's
extended
in
the
there, too.
coach.
Yeah.
6 wins. Extend the coach. Come on, guys. 6 wins.
Yeah, let's run it back. Mountaineer Paul, how does it go when a coach overperforms expectations going into a season when he thought he'd be fired?
Oh man.
But Spencer, they're gonna hire Nick Saban, okay?
I have been told by reliable sources that is indeed in the works.
Neil Brown's going to UMass, Nick Saban's going to West Virginia, and all is going to be right. And a kid's gonna make a $400,000 kick on College game day, and all is right in the world.
Kick of the year last week.
In my
Kick of the year.
mailbag, I had 3 separate questions about Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee.
Oh, God.
Maybe we can pull a D on at West Virginia and hire Pat.
That would
Wow.
be.
Oh, wait, you had questions about Pat McAfee, the coach?
Is Boston Connor the offensive coordinator?
Coach Mac.
And is he going to be hosting his show middays while he is
Right.
Doug
He's going to
Gottlieb.
leave his $40 million job to come host.
like, hey, come on now.
Can we have random cuts to
Gottlieb.
AJ Hawks just blank face after every play too?
Yes. Minister of Culture. We couldn't get Parker Ainsworth of Locked On Cougs this week after his 23-3 throttling. The team, they just make no sense whatsoever. So he's sending this video. Parker, what do you have for us?
Big 12 squad. It's Parker Ainsworth back again. Can't be there in person to record with you guys live. Got to go do the whole teaching and coaching thing. But I am brought to you, empowered by Stay in the Fan 5-hour energy, and I'm enjoying the energy it brings me. So I want to talk to you guys about pies because I think it's funny you guys think I'm only going to talk about food during Thanksgiving week, and B, sour cream lemon pie or whatever on earth.
What?
What just happened?
No, we're not going to watch that entire thing.
Referencing back to
Thanksgiving
last
week,
week.
first off.
It's not even Thanksgiving. I don't vet these videos. That's just trust Parker that I can
Why
hit
is it a
play
20-minute long video?
I don't know. Why the long lead-in? We talk about brevity of this company. It's like, you know what? Here's a shameless ad plug.
He does it every time. He's consistent.
He
5-hour
does.
energy.
Yes.
It is the Stay in the Fan, though, which you can get at 5hourenergy.com.
It
There were
gets
still
even
4
better.
more pies to come. The only number 5 was up there.
Yeah, and I
There was
couldn't
still 4
bear
more to go.
any more of that. I could bear none of it.
Well, and the good news is he apparently is on Blue Sky. I don't know if you guys noticed he added his new social media handle.
I have
no.
no
Oh
comment.
no! He's
I'll
sending
stick to
3
threads,
total
thank
videos.
you.
Let's get the first 15. So what did he say in this?
Big 12 squad. Parker Ainsworth hosts a Locked On Cougs, doing the whole teaching and
Who's this graphic design guy?
Did he
What
add,
is
did he
that?
add that in there?
Why? Why?
Big 12 squad. Parker Ainsworth hosts a Locked On Cougs, doing the whole teaching and coaching thing. Can't make it out to live tonight with you guys to record, but brought to you by Stay in the Fan.
No way! It's just the same thing.
He thought there was no way we play multiple of his videos, so we recorded the same intro for everyone.
By the way, what does he have against his own last name? Is the second half of it a swear word or something? Parker Ainsworth, Locked On Houston Cougars here. Like, dog, what was that name?
Teaching and coaching. Teaching and coaching.
Teaching and coaching.
Next
Wait a
time he
second.
comes on, we
Third
need a full
video
segment
for-
bullying him.
What do you mean next time, Richie? Bingo!
Big 12 squad. It's Parker Ainsworth hosts a Locked On Cougs. I got to go do some teaching and coaching. Can't be there live tonight. Brought to you by 5-hour energy.
It's just the same.
Teaching and coaching. Teaching and coaching.
Get to the point. Get to the point.
So good. So good.
That one was titled Parker Ainsworth on TNT, which I can only imagine does not mean him being on TNT.
Like inside the NBA. Off the rails.
Is he gonna blow up the Big 12 squad? Is that what he's trying to do?
Parker is obviously very big into the foreplay aspect of life.
I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
Wait,
You know
how
what?
did we jump there?
Well,
How did we?
Spencer, why are you surprised? We do this like every week. Come on.
Every week
Right,
Cody
I'm
says
a little
one
surprised
because
it took until the 17-minute mark, I guess. But how did we even get there? That wasn't like a logical next
Spencer,
step.
I'm going to give you a deep dive into my brain. My brain said he's got a wife. I wonder how his wife deals with some of that. I wonder if his wife is super excited all the time. And then it just kind of kept leading me on to, I think Parker probably thoroughly enjoys foreplay. So I bet his wife is pretty happy. Yes, it's good. It's
He did
good
mention
time.
It's
sour
a
cream.
compliment. I don't know why
Allie,
Hatch
please
is
leave this
laughing.
in.
Why is Hatch laughing?
Did you guys really think I was going to miss out on the opportunity to dress up and act the fool right here on Locked On Big 12 Squad? Absolutely was not.
Hold on.
Yes.
You can hear the rustling of the paper in his
Yes.
beard.
Did you guys really think I was going to miss out on the opportunity to dress up and act the fool?
You can hear it. You can. I've never noticed
Hey.
that.
First
I have
off,
no idea who that is.
Cody, you
But-
have so many videos ready.
Oh god.
all you got to mention is hymns, man. Cody, come on. You missed the golden opportunity there.
I did.
Oh,
I did.
no.
I did.
Hey, we put
Former
all these-
sponsor of Locked On Big 12.
He is
Oh,
him.
Hey, so next time Parker sends in a little thing, it needs to be a hymns video, and his wife needs to help plug it. There we go. There it is.
Cody, I let
Plug
you
it.
get away with a lot on this show. I'm not sure if that is going to fly. This is the Locked On Big 12 Squad. Today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. As little as 4 correct picks can get you 100 times your money, and it's available in over 30 states, California, Florida, Georgia, Texas, all included. And right now, you can go win $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, Lamar Jackson passing touchdowns, to Travis Kelce receiving yards, too. Even Saquon Barkley over 79.5 rushing yards. All of those available to place together on Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONCollege. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONCollege to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. All
We have
right.
so many videos and we still didn't play Kevin's. I
She
love
could
it.
say, "Be him like Parker with hymns." Yeah, you feel it, Drake. You feel it deep down in your loins.
I don't
This
feel
is
I
right.
feel nothing. I am numb. BYU
Loins?
lost. We might
Loins?
get
Come on.
0 teams in the cut. Based on this week's college football playoff ranking, we have the 12 seed. We have the 12
The
seed.
12 seed. Get ready for the wild scenario where you get left out of the
We
playoff
don't
altogether.
make it at all.
This
Parker,
is
that
which
a
is
thing?
like a one just so,
what would
just
that
so I
take?
can make
What would
myself
that
clear.
take?
What's that?
What would that take, do you think?
Army beats Notre Dame this week. They will jump ahead of the highest ranked Big 12 team in the country. They will jump way ahead of Colorado. And if Colorado were to then beat BYU, there is a real world in which, look, could they get it as an at-large? Maybe, but who do you think the committee wants? A 10-2 SEC or an 11-2 Big 12 champion team?
If it's
I know the answer to
Colorado,
that.
I favor Colorado.
I was gonna
because of
say, if
bias.
Dion's involved.
So which
alright,
SEC team at 10-2, if they were all to be 10-2, which one are you kicking out?
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying because of money.
Maybe
and
Texas?
That kind of. I just don't trust people. And I think
Texas
they
is
would
currently
choose
ranked in the top 5. I don't think so.
If they lose to A&M, obviously, that's what I'm saying. If they lose to A&M,
They won't then fall out of the playoff from there.
probably
Not against Colorado, yeah. That's
Forcing me to root for Notre Dame is the takeaway I got from that.
Ugh.
Or-
that is
or-
100. That is 100% accurate.
Or if we
Arizona
just
Well, I
State would
believe you.
Arizona State would be even more likely than Colorado, but probably way more likely to get left out by the committee.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
blame you, Jake Hatch. All you had to do was beat KU, and we don't have to have this
Wait.
conversation.
Yeah, Jake, just let us beat you next time.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jake.
My fellow Jake Retzloff, if he could throw a fade route in the end zone, it might have actually worked out that way.
Wait, JT, what are you talking about? You did win. The game was just stolen.
The entire I got another
You've been on the phone
comment.
with Mark Harlan lately, Spencer? Is that where?
by,
he's
by
been
the way,
talking to you?
JT, your women's basketball coach ran away to
Oh,
the WNBA all of a sudden? Like, what's
my
going on
gosh.
here?
I
What is
got
that?
out of
What?
I got
Yeah,
out of a
Lynn
Christmas
Roberts.
movie. I got out of
Wait,
a Christmas
wait.
movie fittingly earlier and saw that. Yeah, you Spencer, you haven't heard this?
Wait,
What?
no?
Lynn Roberts, University of Utah women's basketball coach, is headed to the Los Angeles Sparks immediately.
Middle
Whoa,
of the season.
what?
Yes, middle of the season. Happened today.
Dang.
Getting Cameron Brink some help. Good for her.
I also could help Cameron Brink if she needs help. just give
She
me
is an
a
avid
call.
listener to this, I hear.
She is just a very powerful, strong person, and I am all for that. I got a tweet this week or a comment on the YouTube videos. Great, this is from a Utah fan. What a great game! What? By the way, what a great game. And they continue with sorry, but you don't know what you're talking about. Nah, that's usually true. Utah is a
Point of the show.
consistent QB away from being the conference champion. The only team to score more than a few
I don't
touchdowns
actually
on them
disagree
is
with that.
Colorado. You think Utah's one quarterback away from winning the entire Big 12? One player away?
Yes.
You fan logic. It's you fan logic right there. Come on, baby. Let's go.
Okay, if you don't
At
think
least
a
be a
quarterback
contender.
can
Be a
make all the
contender.
difference, I present to you a one Dylan Gabriel. He did not play in the Red River Shootout in 2022. The final score of that game was Texas 49, Oklahoma 0. Yeah. He plays in 2023, and Oklahoma wins. He leaves to go be the quarterback for my Oregon Ducks, and the final score is Texas 34, Oklahoma 3. 3 points. Don't tell me that one quarterback cannot make that much of a difference.
We should have Spencer on more. I think that's the takeaway. He's doing great.
Quack, quack, quack.
By the way, I didn't say they'd go undefeated, but if you don't think Utah would be in the running to make the Big 12 championship game in the playoff, if they had good quarterback play right now, you're out of your mind.
With the way the defense is playing, he's not wrong.
He might be right.
He's not
Spencer,
wrong. They've let 30 up once. They'd only let 30 up once on the season.
I
All he's
mean,
saying is they'd be a contender.
I'll
He's
read
just
it
saying they'd be a
again.
contender.
Sorry, but you don't know what you're talking about here. And
Great game.
maybe what a great game.
I love the great game comment. It reminds me of The Longest Yard when they sneak estrogen pills to the one guy on defense, and he's yelling at the crowd, "Stop booing, people! Both teams are playing very hard."
I'll give you a pick 'em. I'll
What's
give you a
up,
pick
Malcolm?
'em really quick. Utah is the only representative the Big 12 gets in, but they get in the playoff. That's our solace. Or nobody gets in. Which one do you pick?
I know what y'all are taking.
I mean, I know what 3 of us are taking.
Sorry,
I
I'm
honestly
texting
didn't-
our lead producer. Cody said stuff about foreplay in second segment. Just making sure before I forget that we can go ahead and nip that in the bud if we have to.
with it.
Yeah.
Hey, really quick, because I know how this gets spun, and everyone's going to say I'm crapping all over the Big 12 and that we're crapping on the Big 12. The Big 12 is a really good league. A lot of these teams are right up there at the top. All I'm saying is, Jake, don't do this. Jake, don't you do this to me. Don't you do this to me, Jake. Jake, don't you do this to me. All I'm saying is that Utah would be up there with those other teams. I'm not saying they would for sure win it, but I do think they'd be a contender if Cam Rising had stayed healthy.
Jake was up there looking like the Penguin when Victor agrees to work for him.
22-21, baby. Let's go.
Elite reference. That shows peak.
Yes, it is.
And yeah, I think Utah is one quarterback away from a Big 12 title in the same way that I'm one girlfriend away from having a girlfriend. And that is all is fair in football and love.
You realize that strengthened the argument we're making, right?
Yeah, I mean, I truly am one girlfriend away from being right there to having a girlfriend, which so also
foreplay.
gonna send back in our chat to our head producer. I said I could help Cameron Brink, then ask for a girlfriend in the same segment.
She's 6'4", by the way.
I'm 6'4".
I want
She's
my
also
upbeat.
engaged.
I knew someone was going to say it. Good job,
Uppies.
Richie.
God bless. Those
You don't
people
look
that
6'4" on camera.
never talk.
Shh. Anyone can be any height on these on these shows. Do you realize that I'm taller than Zach Blackerby? I didn't know that until 2 months ago.
Really?
Zach's like 6'5".
Spencer's 5'3", Zach's 5'2". All right, sending to our head producer. I called my boss 5'2". Please delete from final product of show. That's Jake Hatch, Cody Stovall, JT Wistersill, Spencer McLaughlin, Richie Bradshaw, Mountaineer Paul. JT's last name has a lot of consonants, not a lot of vowels in it. This has been, it always will be. Thanks, Friends University. Yeah. Friends mentioned. This has been, it always will be. Thanks for making our shows your first listen every single day. Locked on Dos Grande Squad.